Welcome to Pageant Planet's podcast, where we share stories and strategies to help expand and connect the global pageant community. Visit pageantplanet.com to find pageants, hire coaches, shop for dresses, and more. Now, here's your host, Stephen Roddy.
Welcome, everyone, to another Pageant Planet podcast, where our goal is to connect and expand the pageant industry by sharing the life and accomplishments of people in the industry. We are taking a break from our typical pageant biographies because apparently one of Jesse's favorite seasons is upon us. Jesse, tell the planet of pageantry what on earth you mean.
So, Stephen, right after the holidays, I feel like we're all ready to pinch pennies, build our bank accounts back up, and then especially for our U.S. listeners, relief may come in the form of a tax return. So it's tax return time in the U.S. specifically, and maybe other parts of the world as well. So for many of us, late January through April is, for me, spoil yourself season, because you're refilling that bank account. You have this influx of potential cash. And like we put together, based on that, 9 of our favorite products for you to put on your wish list or to give the pageant contestant in your life.
Oh, okay. Love that. Yeah, and it is tax season in April, and with most people, you don't have to wait to April the 15th to actually get your tax refund, do you?
No, as soon as you file, if you get all of your employer's forms, you can file as quickly, I think, as like January 15th, right?
It's been honestly so long since I've gotten any kind of a refund because I've worked for myself for so long. I genuinely don't remember, and the accountant kind of takes care of all that stuff. So I don't remember when that stuff is supposed to be due or whatever. I just get a bill like, okay, this is what you owe. So I'm like, okay. But so I'm deferring to your judgment.
Yeah. So for many of us who do get tax returns, or maybe you're just amazingly fiscally responsible and you're just ready to treat yourself, there are 9 items that we think you should take a look at.
Okay, perfect. All right, what's the first of the items?
So the first item is a must-have. You've heard me rave about it before, but it's because it is so worth it. And that's the Omnia Garment Bag by Dream Duffel. And like it's one of the most go-to items because it is thick material. It protects all your garments and it keeps it organized and protected.
And with this, like, why is it important? I mean, okay, so you're traveling, right? So you need it for that. But will this also help you if the day of the pageant, when you're carrying your evening gown into like backstage?
Yes, totally. Because not only is it a garment bag, so it protects the items, it's also black. So if you want to be secretive and not show people your wardrobe, it will give you total privacy. It has pockets so you can put your key accessories in, and even a snap-off accessory roll. So like really protects all of your individual items. So you don't have to have a jewelry box and a garment bag and a Misfix-It bag for your Band-Aids and earring backs, etc. It can all go right in this bag. It's perfect. And what I love the most, it can be personalized with your name or your title or your pageant's logo. And it's just like beyond easy to carry and transport.
Well, I feel like this is something that would be really valuable if you had, let's just say 2, for example, for fun fashion in your evening gown. And then since it has that zip out thing where you put your drop your earrings and maybe miscellaneous makeup items in there. And then when you're backstage changing, you can just hang it up on the nearest rack or hook or whatever. And then just all your stuff is right there.
Oh, exactly. And like for those quick changes, it's key. And you really can fit multiple items in one bag. I would say be cautious if you have really beaded items that might snag on others, but it's very durable. So you could fit a couple different outfits at once. But to Stephen's point, like it is easier if you have like one and done for every category as well. But it looks great. It looks organized. And if you personalize it, it's really easy to tell apart in the dressing room. So huge benefits all around.
Yeah. And I feel like for the veteran title holders, one of the things that sets them apart is their ability to be organized. And it really does. I mean, things are stressful enough backstage before you walk out on the stage in front of the lights and the judges and the audience. So to be able to have things nice and neat, organized, where it's not contributing to the stress factor, will put you in a better energetic state and state of mind before you walk on the stage, which will naturally help you perform better.
Yeah, I can remember my first pageant. Well, Stephen, you know me a long time. Organization is not my strong suit. So my first pageant, I was like, okay, who has eyeliner? Who has a safety pin? Like I had nothing. And I just hadn't thought in advance. I couldn't find anything. And on my last pageant, before crowning, I was completely packed up. So it just goes to show that the organization, putting in the time and energy, goes a long way. And this will help tremendously. And the starting price for it is $58. And I think they have a couple different sizes from there.
Yeah, so there's a bit of a range, but yeah, $58, and yeah, you can organize your life. Okay, so cool. What is the number 2 or the next item on the list?
The next item is hairspray by 1x50, 1x50. I'm going to go with 1x50, but it's used by pageant girls, competition cheerleaders, and models. And you just need it to give your look that polished finish and hold your hair in place while you strut your stuff on stage. It allows great bounce, but still holding it. And the other great thing is it has a ton of great botanicals that protect and strengthen your hair. So typically, if you're heat styling, spraying your hair, brushing it out, teasing it, all that stuff, it can weaken your hair. It can break it. It might get sticky, it might flake. But this really does not. It's like made to hold up against all of those conditions.
Yeah, and it actually provides your hair nutrients throughout versus in like sucking it dry. So, and this is, I could see particularly a great investment if you have a week-long pageant, or if you're like, I mean, if you're at Miss Earth, it's a month long, or Miss World, it's a month long. If you have pageant hair every day for a month, that's going to, I mean, towards the end and the competition time and all that, it's going to be like hot mess. So having something like this that you could use long term for a marathon pageant or even a week long pageant is going to be vital, I would think, right?
Yes. And I would also say, if you are a pageant parent listening, if you have a very young contestant, princess, preteen, etc., you want to invest in their hair, because if you are doing heat styling and teasing, etc., you want their hair to be healthy for as long as possible. There was like a Baz Luhrmann song a bunch of years ago about everyone's free to wear sunscreen. It was like life advice. And it was, if you mess too much with your hair, by the time you're 30, it will look 85. And even though it does regrow, a lot of the times it just can't rebuild that strength that it was born with. Yeah. So again, it's worth the investment. And this brand, 1x50, has a ton of items that will complement this hairspray, but the hairspray really is like my favorite.
Yeah. And the final thing that I would say on this, and of course you can rebuttal or whatnot, but my friends, particularly those close to me, they've been really educating me about the soaps that Renata and I use, the shampoos, the hand soap, and all of that, because your skin is a sponge. And those products that you put in your hair, a lot of times they have like poisonous things or things that your body that's been like linked to cancer and all that other stuff. So yeah, you want to use something that's as organic as possible, that you're spraying on your scalp, which is like seeping right into your brain, you know, like the scalp area. I mean, not right into your brain, not a medical professional here, but it's going into your skin. It's touching your skin. So you want to be hypersensitive to that. Like, you know, for example, one of my friends was telling me she uses it's thyme. It's like a thyme spray. You put it on your hands, and what it does is it kills the bacteria instead of using hand sanitizer, because she says when you use the hand sanitizer, it kills like 99.9% of all germs. Well, that's including the good germs that you have on your hands, like the good bacteria that God put in your hands to help you fight off things that you touch. So it kills it all. So like she said, so you use the thyme. So she takes it everywhere. She sprays down the airport seats. She sprays down the like where she's like the shopping cart. After she eats or before she eats, she sprays it on her hands. And so she always passes it around to Renata and I. So we're like, oh, okay, you know. So but it's little things like that I just never thought of. But she has one of those natural doctors, et cetera, that she goes to when she learns all this stuff. So I'm like, oh, wow, really valuable. So anyways, this has good products in it, or good ingredients in it that's going to nourish your hair and be safe on your skin.
Exactly.
Cool. All right. What's your next product that's your fave?
So number 3, I wish these existed when I was a contestant, because they're so stinking cute and practical. And that's Crown Purse by Crown Couture Collection. And if you've not seen this, you have to go to their site, like Stat. So again, it's Crown Couture Collection, and it's like this little tote that's decorated with beads and ribbons, and it's a protective case for your crown. And they're handcrafted with extremely durable materials, gorgeous hand beaded handles. Like I said, there's a mirror inside for touch-ups on the go, a cute little pillow for your crown to sit on. And there's like ribbon of your choice, custom etching, and they have like 40 color and sizing options because, like your local crown is not going to be as big as your national crown that you eventually win. So you want to have variety. And like, of course, just like any great pageant item, you can customize it with your name and title. So when you are retired, your crown will always have a really beautiful place to sit and display in your home.
Yeah. And it's not the cheapest thing on the market, but they're really sturdy. Yeah. I mean, like, do you know like what's the price point on this?
So they start at $109. But again, like I used, you'll laugh, I used this plastic storage divider I found at Michael's. Like it was so janky looking. And like I hated having my crown in it. I was so embarrassed by it. Like it was clear so you could see it. And like that just like now like holds like pictures and stuff. Like it doesn't look nearly as glamorous, as beautiful. And my plastic tote has cracks all over it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you're traveling and you're doing appearances, it is so important that you don't have to stress about your crown getting bent or broken. And this is what you want for sure. And like I said, it's an amazing gift. If you know that title holder that's been working towards that crown for so long, oh my gosh, they will lose it. But I will say this company sponsors a lot of pageants too. They sponsor like USA National Miss United States. So make sure that they're not already going to get one. But oh my gosh, if your contestant sees somebody else with it, they're going to get jealous. So be prepared.
And I feel obligated to mention that none of these companies know that we're doing this for them. So we're doing this on our own accord. These are just a list that we pulled together. And I'll link to an article. We're putting all this in article format of our favorite things for 2019. So I'll link to it in the show notes. So you could read through it and then just click over to their company website, or you can find them to where you can find them to purchase. So, okay. And some of these items we do have for sale on our shop already. And so there's that too, but they're not paying us to be on the podcast. All right. So what's your fourth item?
Number 4. So I have never recommended shoes as much as these particular shoes. So the brand Diverse Styles, again, you might have heard me talking about it because I think like I stand by this product so much. And Diverse Styles came up with a line of various colors of nude pageant shoes because a lot of the nudes, they're only geared toward light skin contestants. And like, that's not nude, right? That's not everyone's version of nude. So they've been worn by a ton of Miss USA state title holders. So they come in like a milk chocolate color, a cashew color, and then an onyx color. So you can kind of pick and choose. My favorite is milk chocolate because one, if you are fair, but you're getting a spray tan, these will still work close enough for you. But if you are a darker skinned contestant, it works perfectly. Like it will literally disappear on your foot because that ankle strap is clear. So like you will have that perfect uninterrupted line of sight, and they range from like 4 inches all the way to 6 inches high. So you'll get the boost you're looking for in a really sturdy shoe that looks fabulous.
Now, I know that it might be plastic, but I mean, it has like a plastic strap in the front too, like around like where your ankle is. So there's no disruption to the line of sight, which is really nice.
Yes.
The other thing that I like about it is it's just 2-strap, unlike the tippy tops where your pinky toe can get caught in one of the, like in one of the.
It tries to make a run for it.
Yeah. So this I feel
this
like
little piggy ain't going to the market. Okay.
It keeps your foot locked in, and it gives you that security. But maybe for the newer contestants that are listening, that they just don't even see like why do so many people wear nude shoes? Can you just give a quick breakdown as like why that is important on stage?
Definitely. So a couple different reasons. One, if you're going to invest in one great pageant shoe, a nude is your best bet because it goes with literally everything in your wardrobe. I would say if you can customize your shoe per outfit, that is great. But if you can't, a solid nude goes a long way. And two, what we were just talking about, that line of sight, making you look long, taller on stage, especially if the judges are looking up at you. You want them to have that really statuesque vision of you. So it helps in that direction. And three, it's not distracting. Yeah. So if you walk on stage and you have a dress with a slit and you maybe you're wearing an incredible color, but you have black shoes or darker shoes or contrast from your skin tone, you don't want them looking at your shoes. You want them looking at you and all your glory. So it doesn't draw attention. It goes with everything. And it just looks really professional all around.
Yeah, and these shoes range from about $99 to about $150. You'll notice that they are a little higher price point than like a typical tippy top. And that's just really, when you're providing a niche product to a niche group, which is pageantry, and then you're doing this these different nude shoes, you're not able to, as a business owner, you're not able to buy in massive amount of bulk like a tippy top, like a Chinese laundry tippy top can do. So that's why you're experiencing a little higher price point, because they are trying to service you, that particular girl with this kind of skin complexion. So it's not going to the masses, it's going to individuals. So these are really hard to find anywhere else. You're going to pay a little bit more for it, but it's going to match your skin perfectly. Because if you don't do this, Jesse, the alternative is get a spray paint color, correct?
Yeah, and we've had a lot of contestants do that too. It works great, but it's tedious. What if you pick the wrong color? What if it flakes? Yeah. So if you can just invest in it from the jump, do it.
Yeah, because you're talking $20 to $30 more, and you don't have to spray paint. You don't have to take those risks. These people have already done the thought process for you. You can get it. So, yeah. Okay, cool. All right, what's the next item on your list?
The next item is a waffle robe by Bloom Custom Robes. A robe in general is so key backstage. One, a lot of backstages are very chilly, so you want to make sure that you have an extra layer you don't want to be thinking about how cold you are. You want to be focused and ready and prepared. And two, depending on your age division or your personal preference level, you might not be comfortable walking around stage naked, for a better term. So it's an extra layer of modesty if you'd like. But it's also, if you're walking to and from the makeup room, it's just something that looks really adorable and is so comfortable, and you're not going to mess up your hair or your makeup when you're taking it on and off. So Bloom makes my personal favorite. They're like a waffle material, so they're really cozy, great structure, so they're not going to be slipping off or going crazy. Come in a bunch of colors. And like everything else most of the things we talked about, they have the ability to do embroidery on the front and the back with your name, your title, a logo. And it's really flattering. It cinches right at the waist, and it's adorable.
Yeah.
So cute.
Well, and I like a few things of what you said. But one, the waffle, I feel like the waffle texture hides stains more, So if you drop something on it, it's not as obvious as just like a traditional robe. And two, you should wear it to hair and makeup. And as a hair and makeup, accidents can happen. You're dealing with a professional more than likely. So more than likely it's not going to happen, but hey, they do sometimes. So if something was ever dropped on you, at least it would hide it better. And two, it creates that protective zone. So if you're just wearing a t-shirt, then to Jesse's point, you're going to mess up your hair or your makeup, or both, when you go to take that shirt off to put on your dress. If you go to wear your dress, then there is that potential that something could fall on your dress, which you don't want. So having that robe to and from is really important. And, sometimes it just gets chilly. In the arena or in the hotel room or wherever you're getting this done, it's cold. So having that, and robes are nice and warm, so it'll keep you nice and snug. And it's looking the part and feeling the part in that process. So looking your best all throughout the phases will boost your confidence, and you'll just feel like you have your A game on. So
I'll tell a quick funny story.
Mm-hmm.
Once I got my makeup done, it was my farewell for Miss International, and I was feeling myself. Okay. My dress looked amazing. My hair looked amazing. My face looked amazing. And I'm in the mirror, taking my selfies, and I'm being so involved in myself that God came down and put a hand and was like, hey, chill. So I went to put extra mascara on the top, because when you put false lashes on, sometimes they can reflect a little more, so they look lighter. So I was like, well, let me darken these suckers up. So I'm doing mascara, and I go to put the mascara wand back in the tube, and I was so fixated on looking at myself, I missed, and it bent and splat. I wore a white dress. It was a white jersey dress. splattered all over my dress. And that was like the God hand.
Oh.
Okay, see yourself at the door. And had I been smarter and put my robe back on when I was like doing my touch-ups, this never would have happened.
Oh, gosh, case in point. Point. Oh, gasp. God does have a way of just humbling you.
Oh my gosh, it was so real.
Yeah. And by you, I mean us, like when we're feeling ourselves too much. Yeah.
Me feel myself? Never. Never happens.
All right. So what's the next item on your list?
Next item, I mean, this is an item, but it's a collection more than anything, but they're earrings by Crown Jewels. These earrings, if you haven't like perused our site for them yet, like please spend 10 minutes and do it. I used to think you could have like a nude shoe is a nude shoe and it's a staple. I think, you know what, if I have one pair of really great chandelier earrings, they'll go with everything. Wrong. Because when I see a great looking title holder, she looks perfect from like head to toe. She's thought about every detail. So she just doesn't have these earrings. She's like, okay, these earrings, they're big, they're sparkly, they work. They usually have contrasting earrings that coordinate with their outfit specifically. Their earrings have a purpose, they have personality, or they like look really dramatic and edgy. And Crown Jewels is super affordable, and you'll never know they weren't custom made. They look really great. You can get a bunch for a great price point. So you do look like that polished title holder from like day 1 to day 365. And you stand out, and like every color family you can imagine exists. And it just is like the one thing you need to complete your look.
Yeah. And you don't have to buy the really expensive earrings for them to look good on stage.
Right.
Because it's not...
If you can, great.
Right. And if it's going to make you feel better about you, like absolutely do it. But I'm just saying, like, you don't necessarily have to. It's kind of the same principle as the dress. You don't have to buy the $5,000 gown to wear on stage. You can. I'm sure you'll look great on all that. But then it's more about the tailoring. It's more about the fit of the dress. If you buy a $5,000 dress and it's not tailored correctly, it'll look cheap. If you buy a cheap dress and it's tailored properly and fits your body perfectly and looks good under the stage lights, it can look like a very expensive dress. The judges are judging you and your stage presence. So like when it comes to the earring, it's not like they're going to be up close inspecting it. They're probably 30, 40 feet away, of course, depending on the pageant. So with these earrings by Crown Jewels, they do have some at the really small price point, and you can get them custom too. They do have customized options, but there's hundreds to select from. So you don't have to just go the Jim Ball or the Stephanie Rose Summers. No, Stephanie Rose Summers. That's
Sarah Rose Summers.
Sarah.
USA. Stephanie Summers jewelry.
Yeah, Stephanie Summers. So Stephanie Summers was who I was referencing to. That makes a really high-end jewelry too. You don't have to just do those in order to get them, and that's why, to Jesse's point, a lot of contestants will just buy one pair of earrings because they are several $100s. And it's just like, okay, I will wear this for as many things as possible. So you can go slightly cheaper, get more, and have like basically jewelry that fits the wardrobe perfectly.
Yep. And 2 quick things. One, the range of these jewelry items, and they have everything from like casual wear to interview all the way up to evening gown. So variety. I think they start in like the mid 10s, so like $16 into like the 30s. And again, you can get customized. It costs more. So that's point 1. Point 2 is you can splurge on your evening gown earring if you want it completely custom made, Swarovski crystals, all of that. But then for your appearances, you don't need to do the same. This is where this really helps you layer in your wardrobe options.
Yeah, and if you're at a week-long pageant, you're going to have a lot of appearances like throughout that week, and there's different things that you're going to do. So this could be a way to do the filler product.
Exactly.
Cool. All right, next item on your list.
Next item on my list. So number 7 is swag by Pageant Girly. So one thing that we know our followers and any pageant contestant loves is swag. It can be everything from tote bags, t-shirts to mugs. And Pageant Girly is a brand, and their motto is fun with the crown when you're not in a gown. So they have accessories, apparel, household items. They show your passion for pageantry, and like, we consider pageantry a sport very much. So just kind of can enhance that. So it can be phone cases, child mugs, water bottles, pins, sweatshirts, like literally anything you can think of they have it on their site. So if you have a birthday or an outgoing title holder coming up that you want to spoil them, it's a great little website to take a look and see what you can find.
Yeah. And so they basically take phrases or terminology that we say inside the industry, and then they just plaster it on, shirts and phone cases and pillows. So, what's an example of one of those phrases?
Yeah, an example I'm so obsessed with it is chasing my dreams in high heels. And it's got a crown, it's got high heels on it. It is like so stinking cute. So it's just something you could wear to the gym, or if you have a pajama party at your pageant where you can look a little more casual. Just a really great conversation starter that celebrates the pride you have in your industry.
Awesome. All right. What's the next item?
Next item is number 8. This is more for directors than it is for contestants, but it's worth talking about. And Stephen, I might even hand this off to you because I know you worked with this company directly several times, and it's the Sash Company.
Yeah.
And the sashes by the Sash Company, if you've ever been lucky enough to wear one, and you might not even know you've been lucky enough to wear one, you will agree they're high quality, beautiful satin. They design the official sashes for Miss America, Miss Earth USA, Miss Cosmos. Great attention to detail, and they are just beautiful. I mean, Stephen, you gifted all of us queens with sashes this past year as well, and I love looking at mine. It's adorable.
Yeah, it's kind of the equivalent of angels getting their wings for Victoria's Secret. Like when you're a queen, you get a sash at Pageant Planet that says Queen of, fill in the blank. Mm-hmm. But Angelique, who her and her husband owns the Sash Company, you're right, very attentive to detail. And, for some of the contestants on the international scene, they actually have to buy their own sashes. So actually Samantha was telling me this when I was talking. And for those of you that don't know, Samantha is one of our writers for the company, and she's based out of Canada. She is the reigning Royal International Miss, and she was telling me that I don't remember which systems, but it's a requirement that contestants have to buy their sashes. So check out the Sash Company if that's you, because they do high quality sashes, and they don't look as cheap. And she was showing me some of the girls. Oh, you know how she brought that up? She said that we needed a better way to search sash companies, sash and crown companies on our website, and which is coming in March. So we're working on that feature. But anyways, so the Sash Company, it's where it's at. You just go to thesashcompany.com in order to find it. They're sponsoring all of the sashes for the Best in Pageantry Awards. So this year we're not doing plaques. So if you won a Best in Pageantry Award, you got nominated for it, then you can have the opportunity to buy a sash. It's not, exactly like the Pageant Planet sash, but if you actually win first place in the award, you get something that's kind of close. But so yeah, that's that.
Love it.
All right. So next item.
This is the last item, and if you're listening, you're probably waiting for an item like this. And it's the Risky Lash by Chi Girl Glam. Chi is spelled CHI, and I like all of Chi Girl's lashes, but specifically the Risky is great for pageant girls because they're lightweight, but they have a ton of volume and length. But if you go to their site and search Chi Girl Glam, you'll see their whole lash book. Perfect combination of class and sass, which is kind of what they say. And they're full, so they'll pop on stage. They're durable. I've worn mine several times in a row. You just have to clean them and remove the glue each time, but they retain their shape, and the base is really strong, so it'll be able to adhere to your eye shape. But there's so many different types. The Risky, again, is great for stage. I love the Flawless style and the Charming style. They're a little bit better for every day since I'm not on stage often anymore. But I love their entire line. So everything you can imagine, from wispy everyday looks to dramatic on stage, they have. And right now they're on sale for $5.59 a pair, which is wild.
I feel like that's pretty inexpensive.
That's a great price for lashes.
It is? Okay. Naturally, I don't know. I'm a guy, so we don't have to do that stuff. Double standard. But I am curious how they say all trends are cyclical. I wonder if the trend will come back around where guys are wearing wigs like they did back in 18th century.
The colonial time.
Yeah, the
where
colonial
America
time.
gained its independence.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder. I hope not in my lifetime, but I'm curious.
I wouldn't say we're too far off of that, though. I think a lot of men are embracing a lot of traditionally female beauty habits and embrace, like James Charles as a CoverGirl spokesperson is leading that heavily, as is Jeffree Star. So I think we're seeing some androgynous changes. So perhaps. And
longer hair, like, is kind of in, for guys that, have the flowing long waves. Not I, but there's that. Okay, well, that's a wrap. That's kind of an odd way to wrap it, but I will put in the show notes the link to where you could go to all these sites and explore the products and see if they meet your pageant needs. But we hope that you've found benefit from this particular show. And if you've received that benefit, please consider giving us a 5-star review. It might seem like a small action, but it really does help us keep the show going. So until next time, bye-bye.
Want to become a part of pageant history? Create a free contestant or business profile on pageantplanet.com to unlock hidden features and connect with other experts throughout the world.